Friends, another topics has to be seen that is types of contracts. First, valid contract. Valid contract means a contract which is enforceable by law and which fulfill all the essentials of a valid contract, and which can be go in the eyes of Indian Penal Code, and you can get justified in from the court of law. Valid contract means a contract which is not enforceable in the court of law, and you cannot go such contract in the court of law, and there no one can get any justification from the court. Void agreement which is not treated as a valid, that is void ab initio. That is, void agreement means an agreement which is void from very beginning. That is, such agreement is void from beginning itself. It is never becomes an valid agreement. Therefore it's called void agreement, and such agreement cannot become a contract, because that if let us know that what is void agreement. If we have to agreement about uh, that a man who does not live in anywhere in anywhere India, but I contract with someone that he has lives and he has comes on a certain day, and they have fulfilled their promise on my side. It is not valid because he has no leave. It is impossible to perform from beginning itself. Therefore, it is not valid. And voidable contract means a contract which is valid, which is wide, which is enforceable at the option of the aggrieved party. Understand? An unenforceable contract which has not fulfilled the essential of a valid contract because of some technical defect, that is absence writing or anything, it's become an unenforceable, and it is not enforceable in the court of law, and no one can go to the court of law and just get the justification from the court. Express contract, when two or more persons are consented when they agree upon the same thing in the same sense, that is called express contract. That is, two or more persons when agree to do something in expressly manner, that is either in a written or in a oral manner, they have comprised their promise. That is called express contract. Or other when two or more persons has agreed to do or not to do something other than written, other than orally manner, that is called implied contract. Tacit contract. Tacit contract. Tacit contract has also as a function of implied contract. In tacit contract also there is no party, but in automatically basis it becomes a contract. Executed contract means a contract which has been performed by one party and another party has to be performed in the future. Or executory contract, in such case, in executory contract, both of the parties of the contract has fulfilled their promise on a future date. Therefore it is not executed, it has to be executory in the future. Unilateral contract, that is a contract which has one-sided contract. That is, one party has performed their promise, another party has outstanding to perform their promise, and in a bilateral contract, both the parties to the contract they fulfill their promise on a certain day, and no one has liable to perform their promise. And when we have talked about types of contract as per the English law class, it has bifurcated into following types, that is formal contract, simple contract, formal contract of record and contract under sale. And simple contract, it is not a function of, it is not a topic of our syllabus. It has comes from another stranger party to the stranger topic. It is not our topics. Here we have to listen essential element of a valid contract. Essential element has given in section 2 subsection 18. Sorry. Essential of a valid contract has given in a section 10 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Here, in the court of law has given certain essentials. If the contract has fulfilled these essentials, then only in such case that the contract will be treated as a valid contract. That is, there must be an offer and its acceptance and intention to create legal obligation relationship. That is, intention between the parties to the contract must be capable of creating legal relationship. If he has an intention to create and not a legal relationship, then in such case it is not treated as a valid contract. But thus there must be a capacity of parties. Capacity of parties has been defined under section 11 of the Indian Contract Act 1922. But that is, capacity means a party has a competency. That is, parties to the contract must be capable of creating a legal obligation. That is, parties to the contract who enters into a contract must be capable of creating legal relationship, or must be capable of entering into a contract. That is, there are certain person who is not capable of creating legal, capable of entering into a contract, because such person has following exception. That is, minor cannot be enter into a contract because he has not the authority to enter into a contract. And disqualified by law, that is insolvent, convicts, drunken person has not not capable of creating valid contract, has not been capable of entering into a valid contract. And when we have talk about minor unsound mind, that is, a party to the contract who enters into a contract must understand the implication of the contract, what is true, what is fair for me, what is unfair for me, must be capable of understanding that things. If he has not capable of to understand the implication of the contract, any term and condition of the contract, then such person has been treated as an unsound mind, and they cannot enter into a valid contract. There must be free consent. Free consent has been defined under section 14 of the Indian Contract Act 1922. Here, free consent was not caused by coercion, which has defined under section 15, undue influence, which has defined under section 16, undue influence, fraud, which has defined under section 17 of the Indian Contract Act 1922, misrepresentation, which has defined under section 18 of the Indian Contract Act 1922, and mistake, which has been defined under section 21 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. And there must be a lawful object and a lawful consideration. That is, in a valid contract, consideration and the object of the parties to the contract must be lawful. That is, if we have to enter into a contract with someone that if you have shoot that person, then I will give you 5 lakhs. In such case, in here the object of the contract is not valid. That is, in the eyes of law, if you talk about to kill as someone, then it is not valid. It is a criminal offense, and it will be treated as an unvalid purpose. Therefore, it will be not treated as a valid contract. The performance must not be impossible. That is anything which is impossible to do from beginning itself, or from a beginning itself. There in such case it will not treat it as a valid contract, because that if the object is impossible to do, then in such case you parties to the contract has cheat with each other. Therefore no one can claim it with each other, and it will be treated as a void contract. Performance must not be uncertain. The agreement must not be declared as to be void. That is, any contract which has to be declared as a void. That is, there are certain contracts which has been defined by the court of law, that if you contract with foreign ambassador, then there is a condition that you have to first of all contract with me. There is such only case you can contract with foreign ambassador. But if you have entered with someone else that with foreign ambassador, and there is no link between I and their respective government, then in such case it will not be a valid contract. Or either you can, if you have to contract with alien enemy, that is in a war of India versus Pakistan, and you contract with any businessman of the Pakistan country, that I have to fulfill their promise in there are certain of their respective object and their nature of the contract, their certain nature of the contract. There in such case it will also be treated as a void contract, because it is not valid in the eyes of Indian court of law. Therefore no one can go to the court of law and get justification from the court of law. Here second unit has consideration, which has we comprised